I never expected my own family to be the reason my life fell apart. When I left home 8 years ago, I told myself I'd never go back. I'd built a quiet life in Seattle. Small apartment, freelance photography gigs, a few friends who didn't ask too many questions. It wasn't perfect, but it was safe. Safe from the Morgans. But one morning, an envelope slipped under my door changed everything. No sender, no name, just a single photograph of my childhood home, with a red circle drawn around the backyard. Beneath it, a single sentence. You should see what they buried. At first, I thought it was a cruel prank. But when I flipped the photo over, I froze. Scribbled on the back was my father's signature. The same bold loops and hard slashes I'd memorized as a kid. He'd been dead for 6 years. My heart pounded. I packed a bag that night. Driving back to Willow Creek felt like watching an old movie you never wanted to see again. The same pine trees, the same cracked welcome sign, the same people pretending everything was fine. The Morgans had ruled this town for decades. My grandfather built the lumber mill, my father ran the local bank, and my brother Daniel now sat on the town council. They said the Morgans were a legacy family. But I knew better. Legacy was just another word for secrets buried deep enough that no one dared dig them up. When I pulled into the driveway of our old mansion, my chest tightened. The house looked smaller somehow, but colder too, like it had been holding its breath all these years. I didn't call before coming. I didn't plan to. The door swung open before I could knock. My mother stood there, elegant as ever in a pearl sweater, her expression caught between shock and annoyance. "Ella," she said, voice clipped. "You look, well." "I didn't come to look well," I said quietly. "I came to talk." She hesitated. "You picked a strange time. Daniel's having people over tonight, some council event. Then I'll make it quick." Inside, nothing had changed. Not the mahogany walls, not the faint scent of my father's cigars, not even the old portrait of our family above the fireplace. Except one thing was missing, the framed photo of me. I noticed the gap immediately. Mom followed my gaze. "We redecorated," she said too quickly. "Sure you did." We stood in silence until she sighed and gestured toward the sitting room. "Let's talk before your brother gets home." "What do you want, Ella?" I pulled the photo from my bag and slid it across the table. "I got this yesterday." Her face went pale. "Where did you get that?" "I was hoping you'd tell me." She reached for the picture, but I pulled it back. "There's something buried behind this house, isn't there?" I asked. "And you knew I'd find out." She blinked hard, her lips trembling before she forced a smile. "You've been gone a long time, sweetheart. Don't start chasing ghosts." Ghosts. Funny word. Because I could almost feel my father's presence in that room, heavy and unspoken. I stood. "If there's nothing to hide, you won't mind me looking around." "Don't you dare." But I was already walking toward the back door. The backyard looked exactly as it did when I was a teenager. Except the rose garden was gone. In its place, a patch of uneven dirt. My pulse quickened. Someone had tried to cover something, but not well. I crouched, digging at the soil with my bare hands. The dirt was soft, recently disturbed. Within seconds, my nails hit metal. I brushed away more earth until the edge of a rusted tin box appeared. It was old, military style. Heavy, locked, and on top, in faded black marker, was one word. EM, my initials. I stared at it, heart racing. What could my family have buried with my name on it? Before I could pry it open, a voice cut through the night. "Still digging where you don't belong, huh? Daniel." He stood by the porch, hands in his pockets, eyes cold. "I could say the same," I shot back. He smirked. "You shouldn't have come back." I lifted the box. "Looks like I have a reason to." He stepped forward, his jaw tight. "Put that down. You don't know what you're messing with." "I think I do. Whatever's in here, it's the reason you framed me, isn't it?" Daniel's expression flickered. Just for a second. Enough to confirm it. He took another step closer, voice low. "You don't want to dig up the past, Ella. Some things are better left buried. Not when they ruin someone's life." He sighed. "You've always been dramatic." That word again, dramatic. The word he'd used when he told everyone I'd stolen money from Dad's trust fund before disappearing. I'd lost everything because of it. My reputation, my college scholarship, my friends. I straightened. I'm done letting you decide what story gets told. Daniel's smirk faded. If you open that box, you'll destroy this family. Maybe it's time it was destroyed. He reached for the box, but I stepped back, clutching it tight. Touch me and I swear, Daniel, he froze. The sound of tires on gravel interrupted us. A black car pulled into the driveway. 2 men in suits stepped out, not locals. Daniel's face drained of color. Who are they? I demanded. He didn't answer. The men approached, nodding politely. Ms. Morgan? We're with the State Financial Crimes Division. We need to ask you a few questions about your father's estate. I blinked. What? Daniel cut in fast. You're making a mistake. She doesn't... But one of the agents raised a file. Actually, Mr. Morgan, we have reason to believe your family was involved in misappropriating funds from the Willow Creek Relief Project. And Ms. Morgan's name appears in several of the records. My blood ran cold. What? Daniel looked furious. That's impossible. The agent nodded politely. We'll need both of you to come with us. I looked down at the box in my hands. My initials. My name in the records. My father's ghost in every lie. Whatever was buried here. Whatever they tried to erase, it was bigger than I imagined. I clutched the box tighter and followed the agents to their car. Daniel hissed under his breath as we walked. You don't know what you've done. I met his glare. No, Daniel, you don't know what you've done. As the car door shut, my mother stood frozen on the porch, tears glistening on her cheeks. And for a brief second I saw it, the truth behind her eyes. She knew. She always knew. That night, as we drove toward the state office, the storm outside thickened. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the tin box on my lap. I traced the faded letters. E.M., my name, my curse, my key. Whatever they buried, it was time to dig it up, once and for all. I thought it would feel better the next morning, that waking up after exposing them would make me feel untouchable. But revenge has a strange aftertaste. It's sweet at first, then heavy. My phone was blowing up, hundreds of messages, DMs, tags. Someone had posted a video from the reunion, and within hours it was everywhere. Girl exposes cheating boyfriend and best friend in front of everyone. My name wasn't in the caption, but people figured it out. At work, whispers followed me like perfume. My boss called me in, closed the door, and said quietly, Grace, I just saw the video. Are you okay? I smiled the way people do when they're trying not to fall apart. I'm fine. But I wasn't. Part of me wanted to disappear. The other part, the stronger part, wanted them to feel every ounce of humiliation I had lived through. I didn't have to wait long. Ethan's company issued a statement. Due to recent viral controversy, Ethan Cole has been placed on leave. Lena's fiancé broke off their engagement the same night the video hit 1 million views. She lost her job at the PR firm when clients started questioning her ethics. They both tried to contact me. Calls, texts, even flowers. Ethan, can we talk, please? You don't understand what really happened. Lena. Grace, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. Please don't ruin my life. But I didn't reply. Because that's the thing about people like them. They only say sorry when they lose something. Still, I wasn't prepared for what came next. 3 days later, I got a knock on my door. When I opened it, it wasn't Ethan or Lena. It was Noah, Ethan's best friend, the one who hosted the party. He looked nervous. Can we talk? I hesitated but let him in. I know you don't owe me anything, he started, but I think you should know what really went down. He pulled out his phone, scrolled, and showed me a series of messages between him and Ethan, from months before the cheating started. Ethan. Lena's into me. Don't tell Grace. Ethan. If Grace ever finds out, I'll say it was her idea to break up first. I blinked, stunned. He planned this? Noah nodded. Yeah, he said he wanted to test your loyalty. He bragged about how easy it was to make Lena fall for him. He thought it'd be a game. My stomach turned, so it wasn't an accident. It wasn't a moment of weakness, it was a setup. No aside. I didn't know he'd actually go through with it. I swear, Grace. But when I saw what you did at the reunion, I thought you should see what kind of man he really was. I thanked him quietly, and when he left, I sat there staring at the screen. For the first time, the rage came back. Not the kind that screams, the kind that plans. If Ethan wanted to play games, I'd finish the match. That week, I reached out to a journalist who'd been messaging me for an interview. Her outlet loved human interest pieces, redemption stories, empowerment arcs. I gave her everything. The texts, the screenshots, even the proof that Ethan had planned the betrayal. She verified it all, then released an article titled, "The Boyfriend Who Staged His Own Cheating Scandal and Lost Everything." It exploded. Ethan's image shattered overnight. Sponsors dropped his startup. Old colleagues unfollowed him. Lena's name was dragged through every comment section. I didn't post, didn't comment, didn't defend or explain. I just watched. Quietly, but revenge doesn't stay quiet for long. One night, my phone rang again, an unknown number. I answered. It was Ethan. His voice was shaky. "Grace, please. You've made your point. You've ruined my life." "Ruined?" I said softly. "You did that yourself." He started crying. "You don't understand. I loved you." "Then why did you humiliate me?" "Because," he paused, voice breaking, "because I thought you'd leave me. You were getting too successful, too independent. I wanted to remind you I still mattered." That sentence burned through me. "I hope you remember how much you mattered," I said coldly. "Every time someone looks at you and sees a liar." I hung up. That was the last time I ever heard his voice. Months passed. The storm faded. The internet moved on to new scandals. But something surprising happened. People started recognizing me on the street. "You're that girl from the video," they'd say. "You're amazing. You stood up for yourself." I'd smile, thank them, and keep walking. And slowly, I started to rebuild. I launched a small podcast called The Grace Effect. It was about self-worth, trust, and walking away from toxicity. Within weeks, it had thousands of followers, women sharing their own stories of betrayal and healing. The revenge had turned into something bigger, a movement. Then one afternoon, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a photo. It was from the reunion, me standing on stage, holding the mic, the slideshow glowing behind me. On the back, a note written in messy handwriting. "You didn't just expose us, Grace. You exposed yourself, the strongest version of you. Don't ever lose that." There was no signature, but I knew who it was from. Lena. For a moment, I just sat there staring at it. I didn't forgive her, but I understood. People make choices, and they live with them. I put the photo in a box labeled Past. Then I closed it and slid it under my bed. It's strange. Revenge didn't heal me. It just cleared the path for healing. And sometimes that's enough. Now when I walk into a room, I don't see the girl who was cheated on. I see the woman who took her pain, set it on fire, and used the light to find her way home. If I could tell Ethan one last thing, it would be this. You didn't break me. You built me. And that, I think, is the sweetest revenge of all.